Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be furnishing the sunflower home in The Sims 1. This is the last of the 12 empty houses in Old Town that I'm furnishing. If you want to check out how I decorated any of the other 11 houses, I'll leave a link to the playlist with these videos in the description. So the lot description for the sunflower home says, "Let this peaceful home put you in the mood and chase the blues away." So this house is supposed to be a very calming, tranquil house to live in. The color blue is a very central theme with this house. So you've got, firstly, the outside of the house is painted light blue. You've got blue tiles that wrap around the front, the side, and the back of the house. There are some blue tiles that cut into the swimming pool. There's a dark blue carpet in the main living area downstairs. A blue bathroom. One of the upstairs bedrooms has a blue wall covering, and you've also got some blue tiles on the upstairs balcony. And the thing about this house is, and I'm kind of wondering if this is the reason I've left this house till last, I don't know. It makes such a use of this blue tile that I'm not the biggest fan of. I think I may have mentioned this in a few other videos. Whenever this blue tile is used in existing houses, I usually change it. It's funny, like I don't mind it maybe used in smaller rooms or just used sometimes, but when there's a lot of it, it's kind of a bit overbearing or something. I call it like the Bob and Betty Newby kitchen tile. That must have been my first exposure to it when I first played The Sims and I played the tutorial house. Anyway, usually when I play in this house, I remove pretty much all traces of this tile. But this time I wanted to do the whole kind of like keeping the original spirit of the house and not changing it too much and just tweaking and enhancing to my liking within kind of certain restrictions, I guess. So I did end up keeping some of the blue tile, but not all of it. So anyway, the first thing I did when I started furnishing the house was to make the main living area that you walk into when you come into the house one tile smaller from the side of the kitchen. So I moved that wall one tile closer to the front door, and then I moved the spiral staircase up as well, just by one tile. This was kind of for two reasons. I feel like the downstairs living area is quite large and maybe almost a little bit too large. Not too large, but larger than maybe it needs to be. And then also the position of the spiral staircase in the upstairs landing, I find a little bit awkward. I wanted to move it because of what I wanted to do with the floor plan upstairs as well. So there's that. And then I kind of divided the main living area into two sort of sections. So there's kind of an open section where you walk in that almost functions as like a hallway that isn't divided up, where you've got the staircase and there's a little phone on a table by the door. And then the actual sitting area with the TV and bookcase and just a place to relax, that's just over to the right. And I kept the original blue carpet just in that area and put wood flooring in the rest of the room to kind of divide up the space a little bit. And also in the name of not having the blue be too overbearing, even though it is kind of, you know, the theme of the house, just moderating that a little bit while keeping the blue wall covering all the way around in that room. So that kind of hopefully brings it together while separating it out a little bit. I don't know if that quite works, but it's kind of what I was going for. And then I added just a few pet items and an easel on that back wall next to the doors that go out to the backyard. And then the next room is the downstairs bathroom. I find this bathroom a little bit oddly shaped just because it has this extra one tile that kind of sticks out. I kind of assumed that's for you to put the toilet in there. So the toilet is kind of tucked away within the bathroom. But I kind of wanted to give that tile of space over to the other downstairs room behind it, which I turned into the dining room. So that made the bathroom slightly smaller, but I don't think the bathroom is too small. I felt like it was fine. And then I added a window in there as well, so there's a bit more light in the bathroom. And then for the room that has the fireplace in it, I decided to have this, as the dining room. And I changed the flooring in there from the concrete to a dark wood floor. Because I wasn't quite sure why that room has concrete in it. When I used to play in this house, like back in the day, I would always have this room as like a pet's room and put all of like the pet beds and pet toys and pet food bowls in here. And then like the pets can just have this whole room to themselves. But I do feel like the kitchen is a little bit small to have like a proper dining area and kitchen appliances in it. So I did want to have like a full dining room. And then I decided to make the dining room a little bit larger and then take a little bit of space out of the kitchen in order to do that, just so that the dining room feels a little bit grander. And then I used the white dining table and blue chairs, and then kind of paired that with like a fake blue rug under the table. So there's this kind of white, blue, brown theme going on that brings in like the wallpaper as well. And then I also added just a piano and a punch bowl just as like extra dining room items. Then I kind of wanted to bring the blue back in the kitchen. So I went for like the blue fridge and some blue kitchen counters, but not the really cheap ones. The ones are a little bit nicer. I think they're more like country style counters. I usually maybe wouldn't use the blue fridge because it's like the cheaper fridge. For a slightly nicer house like this one, I might use like a more expensive fridge, but just with the whole blue theme, I was like, let's use the blue fridge. So it's just keeping the blue going without it being like too much, hopefully. And then going upstairs, I made a few changes to the floor plan again. I didn't really like the 2-tile diagonal wall that's just opposite the spiral staircase at the top, because I just feel like it's not a great use of space, because you can't put anything up against diagonal walls. In The Sims 1, you can't really use that space that effectively. So I removed the double diagonal wall and just sort of rearranged the floor plan a little bit. And this did end up making the upstairs bathroom into an ensuite bathroom only for the bedroom on the right hand side. But I kind of decided that this was fine because the downstairs bathroom is equipped with a shower, so it's not just a downstairs toilet. So whoever's sleeping in the bedroom that doesn't have the ensuite can still use the bathroom fairly easily, I would hope. Then I kept nearly all of the floor and wall coverings as they are originally. I really like the light wood flooring that is in this house already, so I wanted to keep that. But I did decide to put some blue carpet in the main bedroom just because I took out a little bit of the blue carpet from downstairs and replaced some of it with wood floor, so it felt kind of right to like swap that over and add a little bit more blue to the upstairs just to even things out a little bit. And then that blue is kind of then separated from the blue of the tiles on the balcony with the wood tiles of the rest of the rooms in between, if that makes sense. So there's not like masses and masses of blue next to each other, but the blue theme is still carrying on. And then for the upstairs furnishings, I kept things quite simple with just a Napoleon sleigh bed in the main bedroom. And I also added a pet bed in there. So perhaps one of the owner's animals might sleep up there and one of them might sleep downstairs in the living room. And I put a full shower bath combination tub, is that what it's called, in the bathroom. So you can have a bath in this house if you don't like showers. And the way the upstairs landing now is kind of, it just connects 2 rooms. It just connects the 2 bedrooms rather than having this kind of circle of flooring around the spiral staircase. Like the spiral staircase is kind of tucked into the side of the wall where I kind of built the bathroom out from. So I just think it looks maybe a little bit neater that way. And then the other bedroom is a kid's bedroom with 2 kids' beds and matching dresser and the doll's house. And then I also put a desk with a computer in there that I feel like everybody in the house could use. It's not just for the children. And then the kids' room leads out onto the balcony. So I put a few just like fun objects out there to use, like the basketball hoop and the telescope and just a place to sit as well. I feel like in hindsight, maybe that room could have been like the main adult's bedroom and then the adults get access to the balcony directly. But I don't know, I think it's okay to have it as the kids' room. Why should the kids not have access to the balcony? I don't see why not. And then looking at the exterior of the house, this is when I really had to decide about the amount of blue tile I was going to keep. So I ended up removing the blue tile that's like to the left of the front door and putting a few rows of flowers there. And then the blue tile that leads around to the back are replaced with just plain concrete. But I kept it in the, the original position. So it's like keeping the original design. And then I expanded the swimming pool a little bit because I thought it was like a little bit small. And then I did keep the blue tiles that are at the back of the house just outside the doors that lead out to the pool. So there is some of that blue still there, but it's just, there's like less of it. And then I put a pet bath and a few extra seats on the patio. So I think that is pretty much it for the sunflower home. I feel like the changes I made to the house were like fairly minimal and just trying to kind of enhance the theme that the house has got going on. Like I was saying before, if you want to check out how I decorated any of the other Old Town houses, there'll be a link in the description. Do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.